speaking out.
So we're at Singapore airport at some ungodly hour of the morning. We just got our call for our flight to Greece, which is going to be a great time, like 13 hours in a little tin can, which should be fun. But yeah, I guess I'll see you next when we touch down in Greece. So we made it to Athens after the longest flight in my life. We're here at some beautiful old buildings on the top of a hill. Would highly recommend. Cost us €10 sadly, but definitely worth. If you get the chance, I would highly recommend. If you find yourself in Athens, be sure to make your way to the Acropolis. It's located pretty central, right in the center of Athens, I would say. It is a bit of a trek, a bit of a walk around, so be prepared for that. But it's more than worth your while. You get incredible views of the city, and you get some real rich history. I was completely blown away by my experience. The beauty in Athens lies in the mashup of its culture. You can quite clearly tell it's a very old city. Walking down the street, you see bustling markets intermingled with some really old, beautiful architecture. You go from walking in one of the busiest streets I've ever been to walking up a hill, a mountain even, and seeing how beautiful the city can really be. Just as Greece screams giant pillars like you see in the Acropolis, so too does it scream Olympics, and that can be seen at the Parthenaic Stadium in the middle of Athens. It really doesn't disappoint, and it's a sight to behold. If you get the chance, I would highly recommend paying some euro and getting an audio guided tour. If you're a student like me, you can get tickets for as cheap as €250, and I would highly recommend it. It's very picturesque, and it's one of the less busy spots in Athens. So Greece, day 3. Woke up this morning feeling pretty refreshed, even though one of our, I would guess, roommates was snoring so bad I felt like smothering him with a pillow at some point in the night. But got through it, woke up and finally not jet lagged, which is nice. It's been a pretty productive day. Managed to get a SIM card, so finally connected online. We managed to hire a car, which is pretty cool, so we've seen some pretty sweet sights. We've been driving for a couple of hours now through the countryside. We're making our way to Meteora, which should be pretty cool. I think it's another place with some cool stuff, so you should hopefully be able to see that. I guess I'll see you guys at the top. So we made it to Meteora, and it's safe to say it doesn't disappoint. This is probably one of the most breathtaking places I've ever been. The sights are incredible, and we've only really scratched the surface. We got into the town next to Meteora called Kalambaka, and it was a sight to behold in of itself. Everyone was really lovely. We stopped into this place called the Food Factory and got some delicious, really cheap euros. I think for two it cost us $4.60, which is unreal. That's like $6 Australian or something crazy like that. After that, we walked down the street and checked into our hostel. It was a really lovely experience as well, in all honesty. When we got in there, this lady came and greeted us and gave us an exceptional map. So if you come to Kalambaka or Meteora, I'd highly recommend checking out, well, 1, the Food Factory, because they were lovely, but 2, make sure you stay in the Meteora Central Hostel. The lady's so lovely, and the place is breathtaking. I would say it's easily much better than Athens. Spend 2 days here, maybe more. You can do an amazing walking track. At the moment, we're just driving around, seeing the sights, but tomorrow we'll probably do a sweet walk and see some amazing things. But for now, just take in the sights while you can. So Greece, day 4, we're up again on the beautiful sights of the hill in Meteora. We took the local bus up. It just stops in the city down there, only €180, which is pretty reasonable. We found a great little hiking trail. It's pretty serene, probably better or as good as anything I've ever found in Australia, and that's sort of what Australia is renowned for. So definitely, if you get the chance, take an extra day up here in Meteora and do the hiking trail. It's pretty nice with the car, but I think it's infinitely better walking, because you get to see some amazing sights. Meteora also has these grand monasteries carved into the side of and built on top of these huge bits of land. They stick out and they really add to the whole aesthetic of the place. It's really just mind-blowing, and in all honesty leaves me speechless as to how they managed to build these amazing structures. It's safe to say the videos don't do it justice. If you ever come to Greece, make sure you go to Meteora. You'll surely regret it if you don't. So we're on our way to Thessaloniki after probably the most cinematic and beautiful day ever. If you get the chance, as I said before, make sure you go to Meteora. It's been really nice driving in the car because we've gotten to see the countryside that a lot of tourists probably haven't been able to see. So if you get the opportunity and you feel game, I would recommend it. But of course I'm saying that as a passenger because we have the beautiful Alexi here doing all the driving because I'm a bit of a chump. But the car ride is fun. We've managed to make a bit of a mish out of it. We've got the tractors set up. So I've been playing some beats for Alexi. He's got a bit of a personal DJ, but we're on the road to Thessaloniki and it looks like it's going to be a bit of a straight one, and hopefully we'll see some sweet coastal stuff. So I'll see you guys there. So how was Thessaloniki?
A lot busier than I expected. Crazier than Sydney and Athens together.
So Thessaloniki, my first piece of advice is do not drive. I mean, you can if you want to, if you're really confident, but I repeat, do not drive in this city. Parking is hectic, probably the craziest I've ever seen in my entire life. People double parked on both sides of the road. It's pretty stressful. I was so stressed out last night and I was just the passenger in the car. Without Google Maps, we wouldn't have known which is a one-way street and which isn't. So yeah, do not drive in Thessaloniki. Sadly, we didn't get to spend much time here, but that's because we're on our way to Mount Olympus, which should hopefully be as breathtaking as Meteora. So, see you there. So we're at the base of Mount Olympus, pretty scenic already. We're gonna trek up and see how far we can go. We've been gifted with some lovely weather, so hopefully we find the gods. I heard there's a plateau where Zeus was, so if we could find that, that'd be pretty sick, but in all honesty, it's pretty breathtaking. So yeah, should be sweet. So we reached one of the refuges near the top of Mount Olympus. Sadly, we have to turn around due to time constraints. As you can see though, it's pretty foggy. It's pretty atmospheric and pretty beautiful though. But the whole walk's been very, very scenic. We managed to do 11,000 steps, and at the moment we're 2 kilometers above sea level. I'll see you guys at the base. Cool, so we made it back down. 5-kilometer trek on the way down there, which was a bit of a long one. Safe to say the knees are a bit sore. We had to leave because we are driving to Delphi now, which is sort of 4 hours away. Yeah, luckily we have the car. We're gonna hit some toll roads just to make it a little bit quicker. It's getting a bit dark now, so probably won't get too much footy before we get there, but we're staying at some semi-fancy hotel, probably one of the fanciest places we'll stay, so I guess I'll see you guys there. So made it to Delphi after one of the biggest days ever. Sadly, I realized I finally lost something. Thankfully it was only a spare battery for the camera. It could have been much worse. So we got a little bit of time to kill in Delphi before we have to take the car back to Athens. So we thought we'd check out the ruins in the city. It's about like a 10 to 15 minute walk from the little town. So hopefully it shouldn't take too long. But the walk itself is pretty picturesque anyway. So we managed to snag a ticket for €6. The lady said they're normally 12, but they do include access to the museum. Sadly, we won't have time, but if you are thinking about coming to Delphi, just sort of schedule that in, because otherwise it's a bit of a waste of money. But overall, pretty breathtaking ruins so far. So that was Delphi. Sadly, we didn't have much time to spend there, but it was a nice little town with some really good vibes. If you've got the spare time, I'd probably recommend coming. It was pretty easy for us because we drove here. I'm not too sure what the public transport is like, but the ruins were pretty nice, and overall the vibes in the town were pretty good. We're on our way to Athens. So we just dropped the car off back in Athens, no complications at all, which is nice. The legend that worked there managed to find that spare battery that I lost, so didn't end up losing that, which is amazing. Definitely good to not have to worry about driving anymore. So we're going to explore the city for the rest of the day, hopefully hit some op shops, and just sort of see the sights for the rest of the day in Athens. It should be a sweet one, hopefully. After wandering the city for a while, we ended up at, of course, Vegan Beat again for the second time today. If you come to Athens, make sure you come here. Lovely people, tasty food, such an affordable price. I couldn't recommend it anymore. I'll link the page in the comments below, so go check that out. Alexi is currently in a bit of a food coma with a bit of a food baby. I'm assuming we'll get back out on the streets once Alexi has given birth, but who knows? So we're on our way out of Athens. We're about to catch the train and then catch a bus to Patras. We had a very, very pleasant interaction in our hostel last night. We met these two amazing Turkish people who were actually of Kurdish descent. So it was really, really interesting, intriguing, enlightening to get their perspective on the world, on Turkey. And overall they were just really lovely, but we're just sitting around waiting for the train, and we should be on there soon on the journey out of Greece. So we just got off the bus to Patras, so we're in the city now. We got a bit of time to kill before our 16-hour ferry ride, so we thought we'd explore the city. First impressions, it's pretty beautiful in all honesty. I wish we had a little bit more time here. If you're ever coming to Greece and you've got a bit of extra time, I would recommend the city. It's got some really nice vibes. Thankfully I managed to get one last Euros before we leave Greece because I've become quite addicted. We're just gonna wander around for a little bit longer before we catch the ferry and get out of here. So we made it onto the boat in the port town of Patra. Overall, I wasn't really sure what to expect from Greece, but I'm definitely very glad I came. Very picturesque and scenic place. The people were really nice, especially out of the major cities. Overall though, I would highly recommend Greece. I'd say Meteora was probably the highlight of Greece for me, just so breathtaking. Probably closely followed by Mount Olympus. The walk up there was so scenic, so picturesque. We're going to Italy next. So this boat we're on right now takes us to Bari, and then from Bari we catch a bus to Naples. Part 1 Greece done. Yeah, the next video coming out should hopefully be Italy. I'd like to think maybe a week away, so stay tuned for that one. That one should also be pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to send the page a message or just post in the comments or whatever. I'm more than happy to answer any questions about food, about travel, about Greece, about anything really. If you felt like it, feel free to like the page, share the post or whatever. I'd really appreciate it. I put a lot of effort into making these videos. Alexi's probably pretty sick of me talking to the camera. So it would really mean a lot to me if you felt like liking or sharing or even subscribing to the YouTube channel. But otherwise, I guess I'll see you guys for the next video.